Hello, Doris Wagner. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'd like to start by asking you what your role is at Messe München.
Well, let me start with saying thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really looking forward to our little chat today. My role at Messe München is Director of Public Policy and ESG, and I'm responsible for all the sustainability questions, for the implementation and the further development of our sustainability strategy, and also, of course, of the sustainability program, which is targeted at reducing our CO2 emissions, the reduction of climate damaging gases. And the second pillar regarding sustainability is I'm responsible for the ESG reporting. You know, the new regulatory obligation resulting from the EU directive CSRD. And the second large pillar of my department is the political networking. So this sums up my role at Messe München.
So in what ways does Messe München promote and highlight ethical and sustainable practices in the electronics industry and other industries at its trade fairs and events?
Well, as you know, with Electronica, we host the world's leading electronic fair. It's the industry's international meeting point, bringing together and fostering networks amongst industry players and all the other stakeholders. And electronics influences, as we are all aware, big chunks of our lives, rendering processes possible, making them smarter and more efficient. And by doing so, we can in many ways enable ethical, sustainable practices. I'm happy to mention Electronica 2022 was dedicated to the motto, driving sustainable progress, addressing all the industry impacts on current social topics such as energy transformation, skilled labor shortage, and ethical supply chain management. And in particular, the trade fairs promote solutions for sustainable and ethical allocation and use of resources, solutions for e-mobility, smart energy, and automation, for example. In 2022, and also for Electronica 2024, the main talking point will be the future image of an all-electric society based on CO2-neutral generated energies. So you see, there are quite a few levers to promote sustainable practices.
What steps then does Messe München take to encourage electronics companies to adopt more sustainable and ethical practices, such as responsible sourcing and carbon reduction targets?
Well, we generally want to incentivize both visitors and exhibitors to take responsibility for the CO2 footprint of their fair presence. The project teams themselves, when preparing the fairs, they give recommendations to exhibitors on how to make their trade fair appearances more sustainable by reducing waste and CO2 emissions. For example, we generally recommend exhibitors to use sustainable stand production systems. For our own stand areas, we primarily use the stand system Woody. That's a product of our subsidiary Meplan. It's a high-quality system stand made of domestic wood from local producers and thus produced in a particularly resource-friendly way. And moreover, it is the first exhibition stand developed according to the principle of circular economy. So Woody fulfills our goal of circularity and therefore significantly reduces the CO2 footprint. And of course, the modularity makes sure that you can use it again and again and have different appearances, different stands. So you could sort of fill a whole hall with different stands just using this modular system. But unfortunately, as we all realize, not all CO2 emissions can be avoided. And therefore, we give our visitors and exhibitors the opportunity to take responsibility for the residual. For example, by opting for the Go Green ticket, visitors can support climate protection projects based on their CO2 emissions traveling to the venue and going back home. Or addressing exhibitors, we offer the Go Green audit, with which they can calculate their CO2 emissions for their exhibition stands for their presence on the exhibition. And if they then wish so, they can also contribute to climate protection projects. So it's a very low-level way to sort of start off looking into sustainability questions. at the same time, of course, which is necessary as well, we give the visitors of our trade fair the possibility, the opportunity to inform themselves on sustainable and ethical best practices in their respective industries. Sustainable topics are integrated into the general program of most of our trade fairs and events, often dedicated certain forums, stages, special areas dedicated to this topic. And of course, we are inviting experts to share their knowledge on all this. For example, ISPO and Outdoor by ISPO have set up a sustainability hub where all the companies have the opportunity to present their efforts regarding sustainable practices in the sports industry. And not to forget, Electronica last time hosted the World Ethical Electronic Forum in 2022, and thereby provided a platform for independent experts on ethics, including researchers, educators, NGOs, as I said before, company representatives, to discuss the significance and role of ethics in the electronic industry.
How does Messe München ensure that its electronics trade fairs and others are inclusive and welcoming spaces for discussions on ethics and social responsibility in the industry?
As trade fair, we actively encourage discussions on current industry trends by providing different formats, including panels, stages, and forums. And it's very important for us to get a diverse lineup of speakers. And moreover, we want to provide a platform for professional associations to make their impact on sustainability questions. And as we very often host a lot of trade fairs that are fairly male-dominated, we've got a women's network, Frauen verbinden. And with this network, Frauen verbinden, we foster female empowerment and so connect women across industry, across country borders, if not globally. And this network becomes increasingly active on our trade fair and so promotes the visibility of women, for example. And also, just a very recent event, we've just founded Proud Network. The goal of this network is to give employees of the LGBTIQ community, as well as their straight allies, the opportunity to connect and exchange their experiences. This network organizes regular get-togethers and activities and therefore promotes diversity for our company.
Could you share with us any partnerships or collaborations that Messe München has formed with organisations working towards improving ethics in the electronics industry?
Yes, I can, and there are quite a few actually to mention. In association with our membership to the International Association for the Event Industry, UFI, Messe München has signed the Net Zero Carbon Events Pledge for the event industry. And in addition, we have committed ourselves to the industry positioning on sustainability of the Association of the German Trade Industry, AUMA. In this industry positioning, the German Trade Fair Companies industry commits itself to supporting the goals of the Paris Agreement to limit global warming to 1.5%. And for doing so, we are actually going into the exchange with all the German trade fairs and the international trade fairs. And we are part of several sustainability working groups, for example. And on a corporate level, Messe München supports and collaborates with social and environmental institutions and initiatives in Munich. With our engagement, we fulfill our societal responsibility. We see ourselves as part of the society, as part of our neighborhood, and we want to contribute to good relationship to our neighborhood. And this can either be in the form of a donation or by organizing common activities and events. For example, we donated money to support a STEM project in a local elementary school, so to enable the children to learn more about digital ways, digital activities, and providing them with laptops, etc., etc. And some of our colleagues, for example, participated in the Munich cycling tournament, and we sold branded T-shirts, and the proceeds we donated to a local honorary bike repair shop that is addressing people with low incomes, for example. Or one activity I'm really looking forward to and I'm very proud of. In November, we will collaborate with the local library in the joint participation of the Federal Reading Day. Voluntary employees of Messe München will read to children in various languages to celebrate the internationality and diversity of the district. And for me personally, reading was so important growing up. I strongly believe that reading is very highly educational, at least it was for me. And in general, I can say that Messe München encourages employees to engage in social activities. And so in addition, they can have 2 days of paid special leave per calendar year. Also to mention, since 2018, Messe München collaborates with AFB. That's a non-profit organization that fosters the inclusion of people with disabilities into the workforce. They take back discarded company hardware free of charge. They professionally delete the old content and refurbish these devices to be resold. This helps our company to save resources and avoid electronic waste, and of course, it supports people with disabilities. Or to put up another example, our sports fair ISPO has a collaboration with the German Sustainability Award. This award has got a new category, sport, and we'll present the winner as part of our fair in November. So visitors can meet the award winners and have the experience of the brands at first hand. And finally, coming back to Electronica, Electronica's collaboration partner Zwei, which promotes the electronic and digital industry's role in delivering sustainable solutions. They stress that only through the megatrends of electrification and digitization, we will be able to move towards a truly sustainable society and successfully counter climate change, and that should be in our common interest.
Yeah, so how does Messe München ensure that its own operations and events are environmentally sustainable and socially responsible?
You know, Messe München recognized the importance of sustainability very early on and has since therefore integrated sustainability as a core element to their corporate strategy. Together with digitization and culture, it is one of our 3 main guiding principles. And our department, the department I'm heading, Public Policy and ESG, is responsible for the company's sustainability strategy and its implementation on corporate level. The sustainability strategy and the resulting sustainability program is targeted towards achieving the company's voluntary, and I must say fairly ambitious, commitment to become climate neutral by 2030. And as part of the implementation program, we have identified 5 cluster topics for which the CO2 avoidance and reduction efforts for the trade fair company especially will have a particularly high impact. So just to give you an idea, the clusters are, without going into a deeper detail, energy, which is very important for us. You know, the huge halls have to be heated and cooled. Waste is very important. Catering, food waste is a very important topic. Mobility, logistics, procurement. And for each of these cluster topics, we have already and will continue to set up project to make both of our own operations and the events more sustainable. Of course, in addition to these efforts taken on corporate level, each of the single fairs in our portfolio is encouraged to take action and integrate sustainable and ethical consideration into their planning process. As I mentioned before, we have very often specialized panels and other formats. We carefully select our suppliers and service partners. And of course, we stipulate certain rules in our respective contracts. And for example, we encourage to source locally as far as possible. An important step, and that might sound odd for a layperson not going to trade fairs very often, but a very important step for us to be more environmentally friendly and sustainable is the avoidance of carpets. You can imagine how many kilometers and kilometers we fit into our huge hall, we could fit into our huge halls. And given that approximately 85 square meters of carpet correspond to 1 ton of CO2, the avoidance of carpet on our trade fair has a very high avoidance potential. As example, IFAD, our trade fair for environmental technologies, with that fair we could avoid 848 tons of CO2 in 2022 just in avoiding laying out carpets.
That is amazing. I never thought that. That's incredible.
And it's a very emotional topic. We have had a lot of discussions until we avoided laying out carpet.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I think it's fascinating because to get all the details as well, very impressive. Looking ahead, what role does Messe München see itself playing in advancing ethics and sustainability in the electronics industry through its trade fairs and events?
Our trade fairs provide a platform for knowledge transfer. And company representatives and other industry players use trade fairs to inform themselves on industry trends and innovations, of which sustainability practices play an increasingly important role. We see ourselves as part of the solution to one of the challenges of our times, offering this platform for innovations, the latest technology targeting sustainability issues. That makes sustainability a guiding theme of most of our trade fairs. And as previously mentioned, sustainable topics are already integrated into the program of most of our trade fairs by dedicating certain forums, stages, and special areas to it. And in addition, I'm really proud to say we are hosting the world's leading trade fair for environmental technologies, EFAT. It's one of our in my view, one of our best trade fairs we've got in our portfolio. With sustainability as its core, EFA plays a key role when it comes to promoting and driving advanced and best practices in sustainability across the industries. And it's where industry professionals, and of course also local politicians, looking for fitting technologies to make their cities more resilient to climate change, and also their companies. And we do not only do that in Germany, we do that 8 times around the world. And I think this shows how important this topic has become. The most recent new members of the EFAT family are EFAT Brazil and the cooperation with Singapore Water Week. So you see, this is one of the key technologies rising up to be one of the key technologies in Germany, in my view. Yeah, I think this is becoming more and more important for us, and I'm looking forward to see how EFAT is continuing to develop.
Doris Wagner, Director, Public Policy and ESG at Messe München. Thanks so much for your insights around the ethics and sustainability questions of the trade shows that are so important to our industry.
Thank you very much again for having me. And let me just come back to a short sum up of what I just said to give you my latest message to keep in mind. The role of Messe München in advancing ethics and sustainability throughout the various industries we are looking at is that of an enabler of knowledge transfer, idea generation and networking. We are the key information source and platform provider for both professionals and consumers. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.